us, But other than that, we'll just sit here and talk. I'll tell you a little bit about my week, and you can just pretend like I'm your friend on FaceTime or a video call. So, a little bit about my past week. Today is actually Monday. I'm not sure what day you'll be watching this on, but today is Monday for me. So, the past week, I had work. I didn't do too much. I worked out a little bit, went outside, enjoyed the great sunshine. It was a great week last week. There wasn't too much rain. I do think there are some days where you need some rain. What else did I do? On the weekend, I drove to Georgia. I'm not sure if any of you has been there, but it was a great little trip. I went to go watch my old teammate play her basketball game. So that was really fun. The drive there felt really long, I will say. I drove there, I did not fly. So that was quite interesting, but I'm happy that I was able to spend the weekend there with my friend. I also got to see my parents, so that was a bonus to the trip. I got some goodies. The snacks that I showed you are some of the goodies that I got. I went to some restaurants. One of the restaurants was quite expensive for no apparent reason. The food wasn't that great, so I'm not sure why it was so pricey, but that's okay. Another restaurant that I went to, I forgot the name of it, but it was like a burger restaurant. I had a burger earlier in the day, so I didn't end up getting a burger. I just got some boneless wings and fried green tomatoes. Now, I love fried green tomatoes. I'm not sure if you had them before, but they are amazing. But the only thing is, I feel like each restaurant makes their fried green tomatoes differently. And so far, I don't think I've been to a restaurant that has made them either like I do or like my grandparents or my father makes them. I feel like making them homemade is the best way. My stomach just growled. I'm not sure if you heard that, but I'm a little bit hungry. Anyway, so with the fried green tomatoes, you just have a green tomato, of course. Not the red one. I'm sure you can still make it with a red tomato, but I like with the green tomato. And then what I do, I get some mustard. I like dipping in mustard, and then I coat it with flour, and then I put it in the oil of the frying pan, and then you just cook it until it's nice and crispy gold. And y'all, it is so amazing. You should definitely try it. Yeah, so that was my weekend. Let's see, yesterday, so yeah, yesterday was Sunday, so I got back like earlier in the day, and y'all, I slept for so long. It was so long. I think I like took a nap for about 3 hours. I was just exhausted from the long weekend. But yeah, that was my weekend. It was pretty good. Nothing too much to complain about. But one thing I will say is, when I'm feeling lonely, and there's been times, there's been days, there's been months, there's been probably like years where I've just felt lonely. I just felt like, no one was there for me. I Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He refreshes my soul. He guides me along the right paths for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil. For you are with me, your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely your goodness and love will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. So, as I read that verse, I know that God will always be with me, and he'll always be with you. Even when you're feeling lonely and you feel as though like you're in such a dark place, know that even when you're in the darkness, God will be right there with you, holding your hand, and he will get you out of the storm. He will. You may not see the light, you may not see the positive outcome, but all storms do not last. You will get your sunshine, you will get your rainbow, and you will be happy again. You'll feel like you got your strength back. Now, as I say that, I want to remind you that there'll be some days where you'll feel lonely again, but the good thing about when you go through things, you learn how to get out of them. So when you creep back into that loneliness, you can remember how you got out of it. Because like I said before, it's a learning process. So you can go back and think about the things that you did and things that helped you get out of that loneliness. Some other things that helped me and could help you is journaling. I have this journal here, and I wrote on so many of these pages. This is probably like one of many journals that I have. I mean, I know it is, but this is my favorite one. I have some good things in this one, but I wrote down some things for you that could help you get out of your loneliness, that has also helped me. And I believe if you ever go through something, because another thing that I want to remind you is that you're not the only one going through it. There's billions of people out in that world, out in this world, and you're never the only one that goes through things. So I want you to remember that when you do get out of this loneliness, if there's someone that you know is in the same position that you were in, help them, encourage them, and give them tips that you used when you were in that dark place, because you know how it feels once you get out. So, some things that I wrote down. Number one, make a connection. So with this, it just means connect with people. I know sometimes people don't have people to connect with, and that's okay. This right here is a great way to connect with someone. You can sit here and watch this video and feel as though it's a FaceTime call, because that's a way to make a connection with someone. If you do have a family member or just someone that you trust that you can talk with, talking with them would be a good idea. Another thing that I wrote down in here when it comes to making connections is to write a letter to someone. Now, that's something games in general, they're just fun. And you can go on like your app store or really on Google or wherever you want to find it and just type in like trivia games, and there's trivia games for so many different things. Like you can do it for sports, you can do it for science, history, a whole bunch of things. So those are a really great fun distraction in my opinion, and at the same time you're getting to learn something new, so it's like the best of both worlds. Alright, so this next one, yes, it's gonna be tough, but I know that you can do it. I have faith in you that you can do this one. This one is leaving the house. So when I mean leave the house, I don't mean you have to go out of town. You don't have to catch a flight. You don't have to go do something crazy. You could literally go to your backyard or your front porch. You can just open that door and step right there in front of your door. Just enjoy the fresh air, enjoy the sunshine. You could even enjoy the rain. Even feeling those raindrops on your skin will just make you feel so alive, and you can just enjoy smelling the fresh nature, hear the birds chirping, watch the bugs crawl. But it will make you feel so refreshed, and not just in your room or your house, because when you're inside you don't get the sunlight and the energy that the outside world brings you. You can take off your shoes, put your bare feet in the grass and just be grounded and feel the energy that this world gives you. Another one would be go for a walk. So if you're someone who is okay with going outside and you have the energy for that, I'd say go on a walk. Going on the walk, you get to just enjoy the scenery. It's like another distraction also. You get to enjoy the sun, like I said before, and just be refreshed. Another one, if you're able to and you're capable, take a drive. Now, this is one of the best things that I used to do, especially at night. Taking a drive when there's not too much people out, blasting my favorite music, and just singing along. It makes you feel so much better. And even like just sitting in your car, like go sit in your car in the parking lot, just listen to music, and it'll help you so much because you're no longer inside your room just sitting there. You still get to be outside, you get to see the scenery, you get to listen to music, and although you're still by yourself, it's still a way that you're able to get out. Now, even though you're lonely, that doesn't mean you have to go find a whole bunch of people and like force things to happen. Like, it's okay to be by yourself. That's another thing that I want to remind you. You don't have to have a million friends. You don't even have to have 3 friends. As long as you're comfortable with being by yourself, that is okay. Another thing, so actually going on to work on yourself. Now, this is very important, and it flows into being okay with being by yourself. Now, I know a lot of times people find that the feeling of loneliness comes because there's no one around them. But when you learn and like get to know yourself health isn't that great. Exercising could be such a great release for you, and when you're exercising, you tend not to think of like what's going on in the outside world or what all your problems are. So exercising helps a lot, in my opinion. Reading self-help books, now that right there was one of the things that I like to do. When I said I started reading a lot, I read a lot of self-help books, and there's so many of them out there. Literally just type in self-help books on Google and there's gonna be a ton out there. If y'all want any recommendations, just comment down below and ask what books I've read, and I'll be sure to tell you. But reading those books helped me a lot. They gave me a new perspective on certain things. They allowed me to gain confidence, and they just changed so much for me. So I really, truly recommend self-help books. Another thing would be is to meditate. Now, as a lot of things are going through in your life, and you just feel everything's so hectic, you feel lonely, nothing's really going right, I feel like there's a time in the day, whether it be the morning, the afternoon, the night, sometime throughout those 24 hours, you should just sit back and focus on your breathing. Get some good breaths in and out, and just release all that stress, release all that negativity. Breathe in the positivity and just allow your body to relax and be in tune with yourself. Meditation helps so much. Meditation will help you sleep. I said before, meditation will help you relieve stress. Meditation is beneficial in so many different ways, so I definitely recommend that. Another thing, and the last thing, is positive affirmations. Now, I know it can feel so corny looking in the mirror saying, I love myself, I am kind, I am beautiful, I am handsome. Any one of those. It can feel corny, believe me. When I first did it, I was like, this is so awkward. But it's really because you aren't that comfortable with yourself in most occasions, or most situations. But they help. The tongue is very powerful. Speaking positive, encouraging things will allow your brain to process and believe everything that you say, and the more that you speak positivity in your life, you'll see a shift. If you wake up every morning and you encourage yourself, you wake up every morning and say, I am able to take on this day. I am beautiful. I am kind. I am smart. I am courageous. I can do anything. The more that you repeat that each and every day, the more that you will start believing it. And another thing that I wanted to bring up is to reduce speaking negatively about yourself. Like I said before, the tongue is very powerful. So if you go throughout the day and say, oh, I can't do that, I'll always be lonely, I'll never get out of this dark place, the more that you repeat those negative thoughts, you'll start believing it. And then that will just take you down a rabbit hole that you don't want to go in. So I most. And you are loved.